At least they're raking downhill.
This looks like work, doesn't it? They're on that steep side hill above the hotel. And they're cutting this, I think, by hand, and then raking it by hand onto a tarp. And I don't know what happens to the hay once it hits the tarp. Nor do I know what they threaten the kids with so that they'll do that. Here's I know there were all kinds of shots yesterday from our mountain trip, but today we're up on the other side of Kidwell-Ross. I'll walk back to look over the valley here. Actually, we're headed the other direction. You can see down in this little town of Kidwell-Ross where we're staying, down in the valley here, I think. And I'm not quite. To get the idea, it's steep. It has to be very difficult moving all this hay on a 90-degree day down the hill. The hill. Some more people up there doing kind of the same thing, putting the hay onto tarps, and then the tarps, I think in that case, are hauled uphill with a motorized winch. Here they're pulling this down into the road, and then they're going to pick it up with this machine over here. There! This is the part where I'm talking to Belinda on the phone from the Swisscom phone booth. You can see here's the thing that's on the wall, and there's this computer portal. This has all the, tells you how to dial, but you still can't dial for most of these countries. They all have these huge directions on how to dial, and it doesn't really work. And then this is the computer portal that's in here. Here's this start right there. I'll push start. Oh, it does have it in English. See, it's doable. And the phone, you gotta see the phone. Here, I'll put my hand by it to give you a comparison. The phone is just huge. Phone booth is actually pretty good sized. So anyway, that's that. And we'll say goodnight by looking at this moth. Here we go. Good night. Well, here's the down, back to the parking area. Ready to go.
Nice day to have a birthday.
I'm gonna go out and catch some catch some down here. Need to wash the windows. Not a job I'd want to have.
Yeah, the windows are clean.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was more exciting going up.
And you know it's because they're happy. They are such a full expression
of themselves and nothing else, but in all its glory. And when you're in a place like this, it makes me pay a lot more attention to the expression of the environment. And somehow I was reminded of when I was growing up in Manhattan Beach, California, the openness and the fullness of I don't know. Anyway, I was remembering and sharing with Ranger the story of when I worked at a liquor store delivering liquor to anybody. And the experiences that I had with that job was so life-forming for me. I had to be of age, which at that time you could actually deliver liquor when you were 18. I was somewhere 18, 19 years old. And oh, that's right. My grandfather gave me the gift for my 18th birthday of 6 acupuncture sessions in Los Angeles, in a certain acupuncture clinic. And this was a really, really big deal for me. I was 18 and I had a hearing loss. I still have this hearing loss, but he wanted to help me with that. So he gave me 6 acupuncture sessions in a special clinic in Los Angeles. And at the time I had this job of delivering liquor. And I was going about and doing that and having a lot of, for some reason, I guess when people are drinking, they're a little bit more open with people that come to the door that they've never met before. So I ended up getting to know people really well in a short period of time. And this one particular woman shared with me, because she was actually paying close enough attention that she knew the tone of my voice. I guess she had ordered liquor on a regular basis, which that's not part of this story for me. I can't remember anything about that. I just remember when I would come to her door, she was always really open and friendly. And this particular time, after I had had a couple of acupuncture sessions, I would, you know, I was a kid. I hadn't been driving all that long, and I was basically a small town kid from Manhattan Beach, but I would drive into downtown LA to this acupuncture clinic with this, who knows what visions I saw during that time. But I would go in and they would stick needles all in my body, and it was such an unusual thing. And yet I was open enough to not think that it was so unusual it wouldn't be something I would do. So that's how this all started, was talking about growing up in a very open place. But this woman that I delivered vodka or whatever it was to noticed the difference in the tone of my voice between acupuncture sessions. And so she was extremely sensitive. And she noticed after one of my sessions that my voice dropped down a couple of octaves and something dropped out of it. So I think what she was sensitive to was just the acupuncture really relaxed me a lot. And who knows what wonderful things happen when we relax and let go. And I think that's what I was doing. But it was a neat life-forming experience.
As is this, huh?
Yeah. It's
a very good day on the side of the mountain, is what it feels like.
And it's also bringing the trip to a closure for me.
Not
for you yet, but for me. You know, in a couple of days I'm going to be on a plane flying over the Atlantic, meeting my sweetheart in Huntsville, Alabama. That's going to be really, really, really a different experience. That's all I know. It's been come to. I mean, there's been a lot of new experiences for me on this trip.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I would imagine.
No question. I haven't slept so many times in a car.
Not only that, yeah. Actually, I've been so exhausted that I've been able to sleep in a car for a couple of times.
We even made the Vauxhall comfortable to sleep in. Now there's something to be said for that. There is definitely a reason that Opel is not a household name when it comes to cars in America.
The Opel experience.
Oh, to have to go from that Mercedes, that wonderful 6-speed Mercedes wagon, to the Opel Vauxhall has been a tragedy, to say the least.
You know, but I've wondered about that very issue quite a lot, because I guess I'm pretty much of a snob when it comes to how well something works.
Uh-huh.
And are you not? Do you think you are?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I like it when what it is.
It's just fine. It was me.
Yeah.
What was I just asking you? I can't even. Can you remember?
Well, I don't really have a soliloquy in mind. Maybe we can run into one. This is a whole different mountain range now, because you can't see the tops, so you wouldn't know that it was three of the more noteworthy peaks on the planet. Just a wall face. Pretty impressive, though. Well, you want to go walk that way?
Toward Murin?
Murin in the distance.
What do you think your life would have been like for the last 3 months had that been your hometown?
Yeah, I don't have a sense of Murin yet, what they have for tourists and all of that. There has to be a lot of turnover in the mountains here, both summer and winter. This place is kind of like Telluride. I remember being back there in the 70s when there were so many people there hiking in the summer, and yet you'd run into people working 2 or 3 jobs in the bars in the summer so that they could be free in the winter to ski, and vice versa. So beautiful both times of the year. It's actually an operating machine, huh? Well, sometimes it's good to find me without anything to say. This is one of those times. You can see our impact on it in so many places. Down there in Murin, and over here with whatever that is, the avalanche pieces, the cable cars, the sound of the airplane in the background. You can see the cable cars go up and down every little while. But I think it's one of those candidates for top of the world. If you happen to be at the ocean. I think I'm ready to walk down the Murin.
Okay.
Backpack should be lighter now. Put that away. We just heard a cuckoo a minute ago. We're hoping it'll start up again.
There's a rock over there that's going on.
Somewhere down there is the wild cuckoo.
I wish I could see him.
Yeah. Do you think he's in as far as the trees?
Yeah, I think he's in these trees right there, not way over. I think he's up there.
Up here?
Yeah. That's probably maybe. Did you see that bird?
Yeah.
That's so cool. But I think we should start going down.
Well, as you can see, the Murin area is quite the adventure. You never know where to go or where you're going to end up. We have no idea really where we're ending up, but this says it's going to Murin, and it's one of the children's adventure trails. So the mountains are going to a little more shadow all the time. And here's what we think is a road down to the little village that has a connecting road to Kidwell-Ross, which is where we're headed. So I'll put this away and drive. Leave it to the Swiss to have a real storybook tale with a gate and everything. It's a great trail. Uh-huh. So you're saying you think this is a shortcut home? Guess we'll see. Sure, great view. And here's what it is in back. Where we've been. So here we are coming down into Murin, and this is the little town that's in this section of valley on this particular spot. I think that's the Eiger mountain, that's Monk is the middle, and this one is called Jungfrau. And the Eiger is where James Bond stuff was filmed. It's claim to fame, but they said in Rick Steves' book you could see dead guys hanging off that mountain, and I zoomed in as good as I could with my binoculars. I couldn't find any, so there's certainly none in the viewfinder here. But I'll do this and maybe there'll be something when we see it. Any dead guys, huh? Hanging on ropes? Or, even better, somebody that's going up right now. There should be expeditions going apparently too. With the naked eye, or even binocs, I couldn't see any tents or anything. The face of the Eiger. Going right into here. Any signs of life? Well, if we don't get out of here, it's going to be dark. So that'll be fun to take a look at some other time. From a lot further away. Well, we're no longer in Switzerland, I don't think. We might still be in Switzerland, barely. We're in some town called Basel, which might be in Switzerland, could be Germany. And Leela wanted to get some music before she left Europe. So that's why we're here. Even though it's 3 in the afternoon and she has to be in Hamburg by 11 tomorrow morning, and we haven't kind of gotten into Germany yet. I thought the sign was great. Interway for that personal berating. I don't know why somebody would advertise some of the stuff that this is good in Lingua, Rentenstalt. Some of the signs are great in other languages. Okay, well, here's the Noogie house. If one wants noogies, I guess you would come here for them. Looks like there's plenty there in the window. Ooh, look at the earrings on that babe, huh? Nice. Okay, well there's nothing else that's just like way out there. So I'll turn this off for the moment, and if we see anything else of interest, I'll turn it back on. And remember, Wab and Darf. Oh, there was something else pretty fun here. What a cool thing. Yeah. Oh, and they're just quitting now that we're here. What's happening? Way around it. Like they're re-prepping themselves somehow.
That is so wonderful. I like this little guy pedaling backwards. He's the consummate backpedaler. So
they quit spitting at each other though. You probably heard Leela call this the consummate backpedaler. Kind of a slow mover. What's behind? Oh, that is nice. I'll do that on the way around. Yeah. This looks much more like German architecture than what we've been seeing further south. But it's still Swiss, we're told. Okay, well, there we had it.
I think this one's supposed to be squirting.
Well, they were all squirting a little while ago
Oh.
when we first got here. But now they have quit that.
I like that.
Okay, so we'll quit this, but if we see them squirting again, we'll come back for a little flash ending. On their way back by, they're all squirting again. Pretty cute. Be nice to be under some of those showers. It's plenty hot here. It's probably 85 where I'm standing in the pavement. Now, off to the north. Next stop, Germany.
Ja, wenn du bis da beten.
This is Heidelberg, and all of the bells seem to be coming out of this tower.
Hey Thomas, lass uns Bord rauskommen.
Those are just the 12:30 bells. Makes you wonder what they did at noon. Every side street seems to have something interesting at the end of it. And I see what Katja meant by how photogenic Heidelberg is, because it was one of the few cities that wasn't destroyed in the war. What's this? Where is Katja? Where did she go? Katja! Oh, Katja!
I hate things like this.
Okay. Is that the time? 8:15? That's about right.
Yep.
So at the castle, here you can learn about it.
Ist ja auch gleichzeitig das Stein geschützt. Erst als es an den Mode kam, die Fassaden, den Stein zu behauen an die Fassaden, Figuren anzusetzen. Das sind die ersten Figuren, die an eine Fassade gefunden wurden, gemalt bei der Schlossgeschichte. Vorher hat man eben noch alles gelöst verputzt. Im Mittelalter sogar die Fassaden noch schön bemalt. Das ist Graffiti.
And
used to live here, and the one on the right side on the bottom, you can see here,
okay.
a very fat one. He used to drink a lot, and that's why his face, if you go very close, looks like drunken, and the dog next to him also, he always was drunken. This is a wine area. We have a lot of wine around here. And in the castle is a very old, I don't know how you say, where you put wine in. For more than thousands of liters of wine. Yeah, because the farmers have to give wine to the castle every year.
Tell me again what you said about once a year in March when the weather gets warm, what happens here?
Well, you can visit the castle inside, and there are actors playing the people who used to live there.
So they're portraying the lives of the people that...
They treat you like, they act like they still live there, like a ghost, you know. And they treat you like they treat you like somebody who's entering the house, and they start to talk to you. Sometimes they criticize you, whatever. How are you dressed again? And this kind of thing. It's fun. And you can always also go there and have meals in winter time in the closest of the people and stuff like this. And now we go to the nicest part.
Alright, where?
In these mountains, caves. He used caves to put his arms in it, and today it's the US Army who's putting the arms inside.
That's out at the mountains in the distance.
Have you heard about Ramstein?
No?
It's a big US air base. Just over there.
Okay. Sounds like. Hey.
We have to hurry up because I'm in a really bad place.
This is where Katja's taken me. It's somewhere up around this little building. And here's where we are now. We're across the river and down the woods. At a pretty good distance. Looks like that. So we are here. We're going to go across this bridge. Here's our tour guide. Say hello, tour guide Katja. And so the plan is to go across this bridge, and then your guess is as good as mine, up into there someplace. This is about an hour later, and I did go mess around on the streets at the other end for a while after we got across the other bridge. This is kind of the first overlook view that you get to as you walk up here. It's a good view of the castle and of whatever that building is below. A church, no doubt. rest of the city spread across the river. Gives a good perspective of how Heidelberg's laid out. You can see why they're justifiably proud that the RAF didn't bomb them during the war. It's one of the few areas that of Germany that didn't have real severe damage. You can see it kind of spread out in the distance. This is the home of SAP, the software company, BASF, B-A-S-F, and of course the biggie Heidelberg printing presses, which is probably the big employer of the area. There's also a very large American contingent here. It's NATO headquarters, I guess. Anyway, that's what I'm told is there's a Patrick Henry base I know is here. Katja was saying that the thing the Americans are known for is having a base compound where everything is in English, everything is American, and nobody, no matter how long they've been here, has to ever think about learning German because they all just stay on the base pretty much. I know that's a generalization, but that is the generalization, is that they stay on the base and don't ever learn German or become integrated with the population. I'm not sure. This looks pretty fuzzy on the viewfinder, but maybe it's better. The castle's certainly cool. Apparently it was, I don't think I said this on the other tape, it was successfully invaded in something like 1675 or 1765. I think 1675, in that ballpark, 73. And apparently a princess of France married the king here, and then the king of France wanted Germany, and one of the things that she wanted was a garden, and as a result of that garden being built on the edge of the castle, I think it's over in here is where the damage is. Anyway, as a result of this kind of garden being built for her, then the castle became pregnable, and her father came in and took it. And at some point it became German again. And there's one house way up there on the hill. That's what it is. It's just a house. It's always somebody who has to have the top of the hill, huh? So this is the destination, is this bridge in the distance. I'll keep going this way and then find the road that leads down to that, and in about an hour meet them for dinner. I made it pretty much near the end of the bridge, and I guess up ahead here there's supposed to be some steps that go down. I'm sure there are, but this is a nice viewpoint. Birds are singing sweetly. Cars are rushing around down below. I don't think I mentioned that this is the Philosopher's Walk. It's popularized by Gurdjieff, who would walk this way apparently and made it famed. The Institute for Physics and the Institute for Theoretical Physics at Heidelberg University were both on this walk, and it's on university property as far as I know. I know the other parts of it were. It's lovely though. You can just see Heidelberg stretching away in the distance. Seems pretty spread out when I think of a town of 140,000. Seems a lot more spread out than Bellingham, but I guess you have to put them alongside each other to really tell. There's nothing but trees there. There's the tower entrance. A replica of one of the old main gates to get into the city. That's the one that was knocked down by a U.S. air attack just before the end of World War II. So they rebuilt it and swear it won't happen again. Okay, well, this is much closer than I should have ever tried to get, because I don't have a tripod. So I'll just pan out as quick as my finger will reach with oh, it's jammed in the camera here. That's how far down we are so far to the other side, or the bridge. And the path goes like this. I think I'll strap the camera on before taking off. Hello. And we're off again. Nettles. All along the way. And a garden plot, which the whole hillside is full of. Until the bridge. The trail emerged from. Now it's out. And that way toward the bridge, that way away from it. The river is over here, behind this building. And there we have it. On the bridge. Coming into town just like the old days. Through the castle gate. The outer gate, of course. The obligatory people we don't know. It's a lovely day. It's probably 8:10, and it's 70 degrees, 75 degrees. Out for sculling practice, or rowing, or whatever it is they're doing. Well, I'm a bit late for meeting up with those guys, so off we go. Well, there's Katja and Uli. Katja's just so funny about being on film, so I thought I'd catch him here a little. See, you watch it, I'll bet you'll get weird on us. See, yep, see, I told you. I'm telling everyone that you'll probably get weird on us. Of course. School is over for them, so that's what they're doing. Honking, waving, leaving school, yay. I hope you're seeing that. I just saw it on my way to the bus, which is what we're doing. Ace caught you at the wheel. And this is the bus station, or the train station. So, I think that's where we're headed. Heidelberg. You might appreciate the bullet train more if we first looked at this one. This is the train from Heidelberg to Mannheim, kind of a local. Outside of Berlin, about half an hour late from the schedule, on I believe the 27th of June. This is just the countryside going by. I won't leave it on very long because it's not all that exciting, but you can see we're cruising right along. I guess 250 kilometers an hour. In the distance I can see windmills, but I don't think the camera will pick them up. I can see. Yeah, it's pretty iffy, huh? Okay, enough of this.